All hail to Steve and Jonathan. As everybody knows, another wrestling podcast has done 100 shows. Their savoir-faire and expertise are both beyond compare. Another wrestling podcast is both unique and rare. It's more than just another wrestling podcast, if you will. While others beat around the bush, they go in for the kill. I am the Genius Lanny Poffo, and I will tell you what, another wrestling podcast knows how to kick some butt.
All right, joining us again today on another wrestling podcast, on our 100th episode. We've talked to him in the past on the show, and he's here back again today, the Genius Lanny Poffo. Lanny, how are you doing?
I am the Genius Lanny Poffo, still living in the past. I'm 61 years old, and I look every day of it.
But it's glad to have you back, Lanny. We really appreciate it. Over these 100 episodes, I don't think we've had a better guest than you, Lanny Poffo. It's been great talking to you all this time, but
couldn't you get Charlie Manson?
we tried.
I've got to ask, you know this man pretty well. I just want to know what your thoughts were on the outcome of this Hulk Hogan Gawker lawsuit. Now, we just found out that Hulk Hogan was awarded some $115 million plus punitive damages. What's your thoughts on this whole lawsuit?
I think it's revenge. It's fantastic. Gawker ruined Hulk Hogan's life, so let Hulk Hogan ruin Gawker's life.
Lanny, last year, the Macho Man was inducted into the Hall of Fame. How has your life changed since that day? Because, you got to meet a lot of fans after that day. What were the reactions like to your brother finally getting inducted?
Everybody's happy. The thing is, well, I don't mean to be macabre about it, but there's only one way it could have been better. If I didn't do the speech, my choice would be that the Macho Man get to do the speech. In other words, they should have done it when he was alive. Now, who's responsible for that? Nobody will take any blame for that. But don't you think it would have been better if he would have, one more time? Wouldn't that have been great?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So, before we all congratulate ourselves, like, what a wonderful thing. And, because of that, I would also like to see them put in King Kong Bundy and Kamala into the Hall of Fame because they're not doing well health-wise, Mm-hmm. And, I don't want them to have to be inducted posthumously.
Sure.
By the way, here's a guy that isn't sick, but where the hell is Rick Martel? Why isn't he in the Hall of Fame, for Christ's sakes?
I know.
Well, you touched on this. We're talking Hall of Fame right now. This year we found out that Sting, the Fabulous Freebirds, the Big Boss Man, Jacqueline, and Stan Hansen are all going in. Do you think this is a pretty strong Hall of Fame class? It's hard to beat last year's for sure. So, do you agree with all of these that are going in?
I agree with all of them that are going in. There's not one person in there that doesn't deserve it. However, in my opinion, the greatest year for the Hall of Fame was in Madison Square Garden when both Bob Backlund and Bruno Sammartino got in. And I was so angry because Maria Menounos gave a beautiful speech for Bob Backlund, and she was booed out of the building by the stupid fans of Madison Square Garden. And you know what? How many New Yorkers does it take to change a light bulb?
Yeah.
None of your freaking business. New York was boo a cure for cancer, and that's why they elected that horrible mayor de Blasio and that god-awful President Obama.
Well, Lanny, now with the Hall of Fame, too, a lot of fans, they kind of get upset about it because, you'll have Sting, then you'll have the likes of maybe like The Godfather go in. But maybe, there's a lot in the fans' eyes, there's guys who have come way before, the likes of The Godfather who deserve it more than, say, him. And people are still waiting for the likes of Rick Rude or Owen Hart or a lot of these other guys, and they I don't know. Is it weird as a performer, as a former wrestler, that there's guys getting into this Hall of Fame that they could have waited a few years on, and they should have been inducting a lot of other guys a lot sooner?
Well, look, I don't mean to sound negative, and I don't want to be that guest on your show that said crazy things. But as you know, many of the wrestlers, with the exception of Owen Hart and people like that, have shortened their own life due to their own folly. Of course, Owen Hart was not the case, and several others are not the case, but I'm talking about people that have overdosed and, committed suicides,
Yep.
My point is, what's so great about Bruno Sammartino and Bob Backlund? They're not only champions in the ring, they were champions outside the ring. Okay? Now, in New Orleans, they had a Hall of Famer that went out there and said he had to go to Indiegogo to raise enough money to get his operation. Now, I feel sorry for poverty. I've been to Ecuador. I saw poverty there that would make you cry. I felt sorry for the people in the Dominican Republic. They have nothing, and they have a smile. And they think they're millionaires because they don't live in Haiti, because Haiti shares, the island of Hispaniola. And if you think the people are poor in the Dominican Republic, you have to go to Haiti. But when a wrestler who makes millions of dollars, buys a Rolex watch and has to pawn it, I fail to shed a tear for that, because it's like feeling sorry for an orphan that murdered his parents. Mm-hmm. In other words, look in the mirror, don't come crying to me. So wrestling is, when you're a wrestler, you're an independent contractor, which means they don't take your taxes out when you get your money. So at the end of the year, Uncle Sam says now, and you say, my name's Flair, and you say, I don't care. See, I don't mean to be on a ramble there, but I think it's a hall of shame if a man gets up there and says he has to go to Indiegogo. In other words, they want the fans to give them money, and the fans do it. But don't you get it? The fans always gave the money by buying tickets and buying dolls, figurines, and gugaps and doodads, Sorry to go on a rant there, folks. I just 61 and I wear my pants real high now, and I complain about the music you punks listen to.
Well, you said it again. You talked about WrestleMania. The big question is this year: are they going to be able to get the attendance record there in Dallas? Are you at all participating in WrestleMania this year? Will you be down in Dallas?
Well, I wasn't invited by the WWE. Maybe they don't love me, but Charles Hartman invited me, and I'm going to be with Bill Apter, and I'm going to be at the WrestleCon, being nice to people and taking my picture with my beautiful WWE Hall of Fame ring. And I'm going to get there a day early because I want to go to Dealey Plaza. What's the significance of that? Can you guess?
John F. Kennedy.
Yes. I'm going to go there because I want to check out the grassy knoll and the book depository. You thought I was going to say suppository, but you can shove that up your butt. And then I'm also going to go to joke over, laugh now. Yes, I'm also going to go to the beautiful town of Italy, Texas. That's like two last names, but Italy, Texas. It's about an hour south of Dallas, and I'm going to check out the monolithic domes because someday I would like to build a monolithic dome, but I want to ask them a lot of questions. That's where the place of business is. I want to see them, I want to touch them, feel them, and ask about them before I do something so whimsical as to live in a dome. But the reason I want to do it is because they're very practical. They are hurricane-proof, earthquake-proof, fire-proof. You don't have to heat them or air condition them. They're very green, and it's just, I'm a very strange man, and I don't like to live the right angles.
Well, Lanny, if anybody out there is listening, I mean, you've been a great guest to us throughout our 2 years of existence on Another Wrestling Podcast. It's always great talking to you. And if anybody's out there listening right now, I would love to see Lanny Poffo down, definitely around the WrestleMania area, definitely doing something with WWE. You still have a lot to give. You're still a great man, and I don't believe the hype of being that old man with the pants up around the waist.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe it.
I suffer from erectile dysfunction last night and again this morning.
We spoke to a gentleman named Joe Chapman, and he started a petition to get a Macho Man statue in Columbus, Ohio. So I just want to know, what are your thoughts on this statue, and what have you heard about it?
I think it's going to happen. I talked to Joe personally. He's a fantastic guy. He's doing it for all the right reasons. They asked me what kind of a statue I think Randy deserves, and I said, how about on the top turnbuckle with his hands in the air as if he's about to jump for his big elbow?
Well, we hope we hope it happens, definitely.
I wish there was one of those in every town.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? But Randy, people are asking me why Columbus, Ohio. Randy was born there November 15th, 1952. And I'll tell you something. He was born not far from Ohio State University, and he was a big fan of James Laurinaitis and was very, very excited when he got in the NFL. And he said, every time a wrestler has a kid that gets in the news, it's usually for something real, real bad. And this time it's something great. And, he just thought it was fantastic that James Laurinaitis was a star at Ohio State and then went on to the Rams. And, he followed him. And, he took a great interest and pride in it that one of the boys did so well. And, but I think, Joe Chapman is a great man. And I've done several interviews already saying, please sign that petition. Let's get Randy. I mean, why should politicians be deified? Why not great, wrestlers? Because I'll tell you what, I knew Randy as well as anybody did, and he was every bit as good as he was great.
That's right. Lanny Poffo, ladies and gentlemen. Lanny, we started off our show on episode 18 with you, and now we're come full circle all the way up to episode 100. We thank you so much for your time. We thank you for everything that you do out there, and we hope to see you soon down the road, and maybe we'll have you on a few more shows leading up to episode 200 one day.
Well, if you can't get a real guest, I'm in.
Thank you so much, Lanny. We really appreciate it, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, very good.